May 1st, 1957. 159-pound world middleweight champion Utah's Gene Fullmer was knocked out by 160-pound former three-time world middleweight champion, one-time world welterweight champion, Harlem's own, the great Sugar Ray Robinson. He was stopped in 5 rounds that was scheduled for 15 at the Chicago Stadium. Fullmer was making his first middleweight championship defense after January 2nd, 1957 New York's Madison Square Garden Challenge for Sugar Ray Robinson's middleweight championship belt. The fight went 15 rounds, and the referee, Ruby Goldstein, had it 8-5 unanimously for Gene Fullmer. And Ray was making his second title defense and his third middleweight championship reign. He was a 6-5 favorite to defeat Gene Fullmer in front of 18,934 screaming spectators. They grossed $195,000. 160-pound Ray Robinson received $139,050. He trained 30% for this bout, campaigned 70%. While Gene Fullmer, who weighed 157 pounds, received $20,802 for this bout. He trained 90% and campaigned 10% for this bout. Now in fight 1, that was a major upset for 1957. But fight 2, 14,757 spectators have paid $160,000. Both Ray and Gene received 30%, $67,394. That was a lot of money in those days. Robinson KO'd Gene Fullmer 5 rounds with a vicious left hook. Referee Frank Sikora had waved off the contest 1 minute and 27 seconds of the 5th round. It was a 5-point must system. And ABC would broadcast this bout. Let's take a look at the scrapbook. Ray Robinson's vicious KO of Gene Fullmer. May 1st, 1957. Right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff series. Now, as we look into the Ray Robinson scrapbook, there's 5 of these scrapbooks of Ray Robinson, 1,000 pages each. We'll look at Ray Robinson in one of his ventures. This is his barbershop, right off of 124th Street, 7th Avenue. And his wife, as you can see here, giving a manicure to one of jazz's magnificent pianist players. His name is Billy Eckstine. Billy Eckstine is sitting in a chair here, and Ray Robinson is entertaining Billy Eckstine with some of his old fight stories and just what's going on in Harlem and with his businesses as well. You see Ray Robinson to your right, Billy Eckstine in the middle here. Now, in 1952, Ray Robinson had decided to resign from boxing to take on the entertainment business. This is Ray Robinson over in Europe, entertaining the crowd. He was a magnificent tap dancer. But his entertainment business didn't do very well, so he would have to make a comeback to boxing. Now, Ray Robinson trains here at Pumpkin Lakes. He's over to your right with a sparring partner, and he's getting prepared for his fight with Gene Fullmer. 1957. Here you have Ray in the middle of a sparring session with his son, Ray Jr. Now, this is Ray and Gene Fullmer, January of 1957. Ray would lose his first fight with Gene Fullmer. Gene Fullmer was a very rugged fighter out of Utah. And Ray would find out the hard way that he needs to train anytime he fights, specifically with a fighter like Gene Fullmer. He once said in fighting Jake LaMotta, C sharp or B flat. And as you can see here, Ray Robinson is thrown out of the ring here. Gene Fullmer and Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson is cut over his eye. He's starting to realize it's not looking too good for him. Ray Robinson would lose this fight to Gene Fullmer, January of 1957. Immediately, he would ask for a rematch. He did have that clause in his contract because he understood he was a shell of himself in this fight. All credits to Gene Fullmer, however. Ray had to get one more crack at him. We're going to take a look at Ray Robinson and Gene Fullmer. Fourth round and fifth round. And what was perhaps one of the greatest knockouts and one of the most important in Ray Robinson's career. It would give him his fourth middleweight title reign. I know you can't see that well. I'm just trying to keep the book steady here. What I'm doing is I'm focusing on Ray Robinson's article with Gene Fullmer. Just 100 articles in this one book alone. Well, 100 pages of article of this particular fight here. And this is the fight that took place in New York's Madison Square Garden. Ray Robinson and Gene Fullmer, as you can see here. Gives you a total breakdown. Now this was the famous left hook that was thrown from Ray Robinson to Gene Fullmer. And Gene Fullmer has absolutely no idea where he is. As a matter of fact, he asked his manager, Merv Jensen, why is Ray Robinson doing exercises between rounds? And I'm just skimming through a few of these pages here. We'll get a better look at that particular shot. I was careless, says Fullmer. Must have dropped my guard. Well, Gene Fullmer, pretty much what happened. Now that's the referee, Frank Sakura. He counts out Gene Fullmer. Like I said, Gene has absolutely no idea where he is. Now, look at that left hook. Right at the point of the chin of Gene Fullmer. Incredible. Now, you know that's a 6-inch punch. How do you know that? You take a glove and you put it between your elbow and your side. And you throw that punch at the heavy bag. That's a 6-inch punch. Beautiful. Let's take a look at that round that Gene Fullmer had tasted a piece of leather of Harlem's great, Sugar Ray Robinson. And he would stop Gene Fullmer.
governor of Michigan, G. Menon Williams, is in the audience tonight watching this fight. I think the Illinois governor, Governor William Stratton, was scheduled to be here as well, although I have not seen him as yet. Right hand landed by Sugar Ray Robinson to the ribs of Gene Fullmer. And Sugar Ray drops Gene Fullmer. 4, 5, listen to this crowd. 7, 8, 9, 10, he is done. About to go away. We'll have another 4-round bout coming up in just a moment. As soon as that time is announced, we will be interviewing Sugar Ray Robinson. Gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 27 seconds of the 5th round. Winner by a knockout and new world's middleweight champion, Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray bangs it in. Sugar Ray, you've done it again. And it's a completely remarkable fight. Can you tell me how that punch was set up?
Jack, before I say anything, I'd like to say from the very, very bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, fans of mine who offered their prayers in my behalf, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, it was your prayers that enabled me to be successful tonight. This victory belongs to you and your faith in me and your faith in God. I thank you. I want to thank my mother who's looking in, and Reverend Johnson and Mother Howard, all of those who offered their prayers for my success. And Du Bois, I'll be waiting for you on the first tee.
All right, Sugar Ray, you've got a lot of demands on you for pictures. Get with the posing. Tell me, what was the punch that nailed him?
Left hook.
So Ray Robinson now becomes the world middleweight champion of the world for the 5th time. I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff Series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Shout out to Sugar Ray Robinson.